So, welcome, Daniel Romy, the Golden Key Group in Home Life.
Hi, Bandras Chen here with the Wenzel Real Estate Team and associate to Golden Key Group.
We just want to give a salutation to the end of the year and speak a little bit about what has happened in the past.
Yeah, exciting, right? So when the new year's coming, and I think we're just passing the first decade of the new century.
Yeah.
So what can be said to summarize this year?
Yeah, we're going to speak about the whole century.
Okay.
It's not a century.
The decade.
Okay, for the last decade.
Yeah.
I just want to bring up the point that British Columbia has experienced a net migration to the province of over 580,000 people. Mm-hmm. And what is really amazing is Surrey and Langley, where we do our business, has kept pace with that. As a matter of fact, exceeded that. So in Surrey, there's been over 111,000 people.
Okay.
Net people moved into the neighborhood, and 27,000 in Langley.
Okay, that's interesting numbers.
Those two numbers represent 23% of the whole province.
Oh, amazing. Yeah.
Just in these two areas.
Yeah. So with all the population growth over the past decade, how did that affect our real estate market?
Yeah, that's really important. I got here information from the Paragon, our local real estate board, Fraser Valley. This graph shows what real estate has done in the last 10 years. About 10 years ago, 2009, you could have picked up a single-family home, average price about $400,000. We're finishing off 2019. The average price for the same home is now $730,000, $740,000. That is almost a double the price.
Yeah, that's a huge jump.
Even moreover, you see two down arrows here.
Yeah.
The real estate market locally experienced in 2016 to 2017, the government brought in the foreign tax for the purchasers of buyers in the local market.
For foreign buyers tax.
Foreign buyers tax.
Yeah.
We hit the market.
Yeah.
We had a down slump, but it only lasted a few months. It actually started to come right back up again.
Yeah.
Then around 2017, 2018, they introduced the financial market, the stress test, imposing people had to qualify at a higher level of income to buy the same home. The reason for that was at that time, real estate in Vancouver was among the top 3 in the world as far as affordability. That's why they brought in the stress test. The stress test took effect around April of 2018. It did dampen the market, and the market had to reach a new level in pricing as a consequence of that stress test. Now it's found its new pricing and it's leveled off in the last few months, and activities picked up once again.
Yeah, it seems that the government is trying to put a brake on the real estate market, right? But as a matter of fact, it's coming back with all those hurdles.
As population, demand and supply.
Yeah, it's good to see that the market is coming back, even with all those hurdles, right? Then based on all those facts, what do you project to come in terms of real estate market?
Yeah. So the statistics show that the continued growth of BC net migration immigration will continue at the same pace. As a matter of fact, in another 10 years from now, we expect to have another 600,000 residents in BC, and of those 600,000 residents, we're going to have about 160,000 of those residents in the Lower Mainland, restricted to Surrey and Langley only.
Yeah, that's amazing numbers.
A big majority of those numbers will be focused in the downtown of Surrey and along the SkyTrain to the Langley area. Willoughby is already filled up, in generally speaking.
Okay, so that's why we're seeing all those high towers coming up
Yes.
downtown Surrey, right?
You're gonna see a lot more.
Hopefully, we will see more down the road.
I don't think hopefully. The demand is certainly there,
Yeah.
and it will continue to be there. But we always will be dampened by the ability or affordability to buy.
And I still remember recently we just did another video talking about downtown Surrey, and obviously the population growth has outpaced the application of new condo projects.
Yes. So it's hard to keep the supply at the same pace of the demand. And I'm sure you remember, even if I started a project today to build a condominium project, let's say add 30 units to the market, I begin that today, it won't be ready for another 3+ years.
Yeah, it takes time for the projects to happen, right?
Yes. So for the local governments to keep pace with the supply of land to the pace of the growth of population, we already are going to see pressure on prices, always continual pressure on prices. However, we do not see any change in the near future that people have a higher standard of income levels, unless there's some tax incentives coming along or some change in local government's policies.
Okay, good. Then based on that, what is your suggestion to the real estate investors in the new year?
Well, we spent a lot of time with the small investors in the last little while, and I'm going to give you an example. If this example was if in 2015 I went out and I went looking for, as an investment, a small project like that, one condominium, townhouse style. In 2015, this would have cost you about $225,000 as an investment, $225,000, $250,000. If I had taken $60,000 or $70,000 and invested in this project, we did a 5-year timeline, and you would have sold it today, you probably would have realized approximately $450,000 for the same project, same townhouse. After doing all those numbers, we've run through the cash flow you could expect based on the revenue you would get by way of rents, repairs you would do, pay the mortgage interest, or the tenant actually pays your mortgage interest, and you sell the property at the end here. So you put $70,000 in, you would have realized about $442,000 cash, net cash back.
Yeah, impressive.
After taxation, capital gains tax, recapture on depreciation tax, this shows about 20% after tax return, internal rate of return of 20% on your money.
It's pretty impressive. Yeah. So it's better to start, today.
Why stop?
Yeah.
For the next 10 years,
Exactly.
do your best to accumulate real estate. The Golden Key Group, Banderas, and myself, and the other members of the group are here, take your questions, or try to guide you on what would be available for your investments. And I wish you big success, health, and happiness in the decade to come.
Yeah, and a prosperous new year of 2020.
Thank you.